Hi everyone. It's almost 11:30 Friday night, October 8th. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome if this is your first time. I guess I'm going to try and do a vlog this weekend. I don't know how long it'll end up being. These videos end up taking a little longer. It's, again, Friday night, 11:30. I'm very tired. Let me recap my week for you. Going back to last Sunday. My work, again, I live in Manitoba, Canada, and I work at a grocery store chain called Sobeys up here, and my daughter works there as well. I'm a cashier. She works in a different department. My work is very, very good about not having me work a lot of Sundays because they know I like to go to church. So they don't have me work a lot of Sundays, but when they do, they put me on the 3:30 to 9 p.m. shift so that I can still do church in the morning. So I appreciate that, but I do only have to do like one Sunday a month or one every 5 or 6 weeks or so that's been nice. So last Sunday, of course, was my day to do Sobeys. I went to church in the morning. It's at 11. There's a 9:15 service too, but I don't really like going to early services. I tend to be pretty tired, so I like to go to the late service when I can. So I went to church at 11. The previous week on a Sunday evening had been the church business meeting, our first one in like a year and a half, because with the pandemic they haven't been able to have a gathering large enough to have a church business meeting because you need a minimum number of members present to vote on items. So that, not last Sunday but the week before, was our church business meeting, and I had gotten up, and as part of the meeting, one of the items was people coming into membership, and I was one of 2 people being considered for membership. So I gave my testimony, which was like a 10-minute speech basically. And then, of course, they voted on me and the other fellow that was being considered for membership, and we were approved. So last Sunday during the service, they took a few minutes to formally bring myself and Hank, the other gentleman that was being a new member, bring us up to the front and welcome us into membership. So the congregation, especially if anybody hadn't been there at the business meeting, they now all got to hear the news and applaud us, and pray over us and that kind of thing. So that was last Sunday, and then it was, so normally second service would go like 11 till 12, but because they took a few extra minutes to welcome us into membership, and then there was a couple of congregation members that were giving a report on Compassion Canada, which their sponsored child over there, and how they'd gone over pre-pandemic to go over and meet their sponsored child. That was another 10 minutes, and then communion as well. So instead of it being 11 to 12 last Sunday, it wound up being more to like 12:30. So I came home, 5-minute drive. Left the house around 3. Again, it's a 5-minute drive to work as well, but I like to go a bit early so I have time to just settle in, check schedules, and just relax. Worked 3:30 to 9. And then my other job is I also work as a lunch supervisor at an elementary school, and my daughter also works there with me too, but we revolve it around our Sobe schedule, so I'm not there 5 days a week. The store is our #1 job, and whatever is left over we can give to the school. Monday, the school wasn't an issue because it was an in-service day, so there was no school. But I did work at Sobeys, so that was fine. Tuesday, I had to start at 2:30 in the afternoon, so I meant going over to the store at 2, work till 8, so it would have given me not a lot of turnaround times. I didn't bother doing the lunch program, just worked at the store. My daughter did the same thing. Wednesday, I worked a similar shift at the store, but I decided that day to do the school, just so I was giving the school at least a day or two of availability this past week. So I did go there, worked at the school, came home. That gave me about an hour just to have lunch, change out of my street clothes into my work uniform, pack a lunch to take to work, and then leave. And then my daughter also worked 2:30 to 8 that on Wednesday, just like me. So we both left the house at 2 o'clock and headed over to the store. And then we finished both at the same time. Sometimes she finishes a few minutes later than me. The store's open till 11, but her department closes at 8, and she has to close her department, so if she's not completely done at 8, she has to stay a little bit longer, so okay, fine. Thursday, I also worked at the school. Then I came home, and I had a doctor appointment by Zoom in the afternoon, and I was supposed to be my day off from the store, but I picked up an extra shift. There was somebody that was supposed to work 5 to 9 p.m. on Thursday that didn't want his shift, and so I worked it for him. And then today was just the store only, because today I had to work at 12:30, so there's no possible way I could have worked at the school. Worked till 6. Daughter also worked at the store today, but she didn't start till 2:30, so that just meant she had to walk to work today. And again, she was supposed to finish at 8 o'clock tonight, but they often finish a little bit late in that department, but this was even worse than normal because her department is small, but there's 2 people in her department out sick today. So not 1, but 2. So that meant that she was there till almost 9:15. So I was there in the parking lot around 8:15, not knowing how late she'd be. I knew she'd be a little late, but I didn't know how late. And it was actually like 9:15 when she finished. So it's been a long week. So I've done 5 days this week at the store and 2 at the school. And of course, still taking care of stuff here at home. I made a crock pot full of split pea soup with ham yesterday for supper because I knew I'd be out working till 9 o'clock. Yeah, just trying to stay on top of things. I don't want to fall behind on laundry this week. I'm struggling a little bit with my health this week. Some various pains and stuff, like just some issues that I'm not really comfortable getting into details in on here. I've been struggling with this week. So it's been a very draining week. This weekend is our Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada. I've taken my turkey out. It's sitting in the fridge. I'm going to cook it on Sunday. Originally, I was going to take it out earlier and make it tomorrow because we were invited to a family gathering on Sunday. But now, last week, there was new COVID restrictions announced to where, basically involving unvaccinated people. And because there is an unvaccinated person in our family, we can't go to that gathering because, we're risking a fine, basically. Like, it's just, without getting into all the details of what the restrictions are, just it changed our ability to attend that gathering. At least without risking a fine anyway, that is. So instead of doing our dinner tomorrow, I've taken the turkey out yesterday, and it wouldn't be thawed out for Saturday anyway. I'm hoping to have it thawed out in time for Sunday, so I'm going to go to church on Sunday morning and make our dinner Sunday afternoon. So it'll just be the 3 of us here at home for our Thanksgiving dinner. I know for those of you who are in the U.S., our Thanksgiving always falls on your Columbus Day weekend. So that's how you guys will be able to remember that. And then my daughter has to work that day. She has to work at like 7:30 in the morning till 4. So while she's there, I'll get up and shower and go to church and make the dinner in the afternoon and stuff, and get all the, the turkey's already thawing. Pardon me, I need some water. Throat is dry. Mashed potatoes and gravy. Stuffing. I'm not a stuffing person, but these two are. So I've never made it from scratch. I just usually buy the stovetop stuffing in the boxes and do that. And I'm going to try, probably tomorrow on Saturday, I'll probably try, because I'm a glutton for punishment, to make a batch of pie crust from scratch again. And then if that works, I'll make a couple of pumpkin pies. I have a can of pumpkin, so I can make that and make a pie filling out of that and make 2 pies. Because 1 can of pumpkin makes 2 pie there's a recipe on the inside of the label to make 2 pie fillings. So if that works, great. If not, I do have some frozen pie crust as a backup, and so I'll make my pumpkin pies from scratch one way or the other. Hopefully the crust will be from scratch too, but we'll just have to see. You all know from my previous videos I have a love-hate relationship with pie crusts. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So that will be hopefully tomorrow, Saturday. I'm hoping to try a batch of pie crusts. I haven't done any baking of any kind in a while, so I'd like to do some baking this weekend. And I do have an appointment of sorts, 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon. I'm going to be speaking by phone with a fellow from church who is on the missions committee at church. I've expressed interest in joining the missions committee, and they've expressed interest in having me, but I need to talk to him and find out a little bit more about what's involved. It's been probably 20 years since I was involved in a missions committee at a previous church, and I'd like to again, but it's been, like I say, it's been probably 20-25 years since I've been on a committee like that. So I'd have to find out what exactly this committee does and what my role would be. I've not done any missions trips or really expressed any interest in going on any missions trips, but even just being on the committees, so I would assume it's more communication with the missionaries that our church supports, or when we have missionaries in to speak, probably helping coordinate the logistics of that or whatever. I just need to find out what all's involved with it and what role they would need me to fill, and if I'd be a good fit with that. So we've set a time for Saturday afternoon for me to talk to him and find out more about that. And then my birthday's coming up next Friday. So my daughter has said that she would like to go over to a mall at some point tomorrow, possibly bus it over, and then maybe get picked up and get a ride home and do some birthday shopping for me. So I've given her a list of some ideas of stuff, but she probably has some ideas of her own too that she wants to do. So we'll see how that all goes. All I know is that my timer on my dryer just went off now. It's 11:35. I should probably go fold that load of laundry. As you all know, laundry is my nemesis, or one of them. I'm very good about washing and drying, but folding and putting away are my nemesis. And, if I don't get a load folded, then whatever's sitting in the washer wet needing to go into the dryer sits there and gets kind of funky if I don't get on it. So I have been tempted to put this off till tomorrow, but I probably should just go get that load folded now and just be done with it. So why don't I bring you along with me while I do that? And then that will probably be enough for tonight, because by that point it'll be close to midnight. Maybe I'll sit down and watch an episode of something that I've recorded and unwind that way, because I'm getting pretty tired. If I look tired, it's because I am. It's been a very long week. Anyway, I'll bring you back with me in just a couple minutes. I'll get you set up in the laundry room. Okay, I've got a load to fold. I think it's a pretty good sized load too, so we'll see how much of this is actually mine. I don't think some of it might be. Let's see how long it takes us to fold this load. Hopefully not too desperately long, because I'm tired and I want to relax for a while. Everybody tells me I don't do enough relaxing or enough self-care, so hopefully sitting in my bed watching TV for a while with nobody needing anything from me or anybody harassing me will be enough. I noticed that my daughter just brought home her work apron and hat tonight to be washed, so I have to make sure that at some point on Saturday I get a load of darks or mixed load of some sort washed, because she'll need that for Sunday. She only has one apron and one work hat, so there's no extras of that. Okay, this is going to have to get turned around because I see I've got some towels to put up here. Alright, I can really see. This is where the problem comes in. The rabbit cage ends up being the catch-all to put a lot of laundry that is folded and needing to be put away. Well, actually, from the camera angle you're on there, you can't really see that, I see, but it's probably just as well, because I've got a couple of small stacks of towels beside this. So, let me just, oh, there's some work pants here. Those have to get hung. Put those separate for now. Oh. So, how's everybody else's week been? Mine has been a little crazy. As you can hear by my schedule, my week's been a little nuts. And the thing is, there's lots of stuff going on that I'd like to do. I like both my jobs. I like church involvement, and I'm excited to be getting involved on the missions committee. And I've gotten in touch with some people on the worship committee now about getting involved in singing again, music for the first time in several years. I'm looking forward to that. That in particular is what I really want to do, more than anything else. More than any other committee I could be on, I want to get involved in music again. So I'm hoping they'll find a spot for me somewhere in that ministry to help. I mean, all these things are things on the calendar and they tire me out, but I also really enjoy them. Because I have to have things to do that are not just me being a cashier or me being a lunch supervisor or just working myself like crazy, and me being a wife or me being a mom. Like, I have to have some things that are my hobbies too. So getting back involved in ministry, whether it be missions or music or all of the above, or any other area for that matter, are important because they're things for me. I mean, I'm giving back too. By volunteering, I'm certainly giving back, but I'm giving back by doing things I love too. So hopefully this load will be done quickly. We have had unseasonably warm weather here in Manitoba, like an extension of summer really. And now suddenly today it's starting to go a little cooler, a little more like normal October weather. So really it isn't cold here, but it feels cool because we've been spoiled by really, really warm September. So it just feels cool because we've gotten used to the nice weather. So hopefully, the hope always is every year that we won't have snow before Halloween because you want it to be nice outside for the kids. Now last year there really was no Halloween with the pandemic and they told everybody to stay home, and most people did. But this year, I don't know, numbers aren't anywhere near as high right now as they were last year at this time, so as far as I know now, I don't think they're trying to tell kids not to go out, although it's not close enough to Halloween yet to say for sure. They may still come out and make some announcement yet. I don't know. But I bought some Halloween candy in anticipation of having kids because we do live very close to several schools. In fact, the school I worked at the lunch program for 6 years is just a walk around the corner from me, walking distance. So we always had kids from there. But there's a junior high and one other elementary school in the area for sure, and another elementary school, maybe about 5 more minutes up the road from that. So there's lots of kids in the area, and a high school not too far too. So outside of pandemic stuff, on a normal year, we would have a good number of trick-or-treaters. So I'm hoping, for the kids' sake, that they actually can have a Halloween this year and get out. So because of that, I do have candies bought and treat bags. Well, one of these times I'm going to have to spend a day or an afternoon getting the treat bags put together. I know there's still a couple weeks to go, but I like to get them done ahead of time, partly because then I know it's done, but also because then if the candy is in sealed bags, then I won't eat it because I'll know it's already spoken for. Otherwise, I'll have a box of Halloween candy in the house for Halloween, supposedly, and I'll end up caving in and snacking on it. So let's hope at some point I can get those treat bags put together. I'm probably not going to tackle that this weekend because I want to put 3 or 4 different things in the treat bags, and I think I only have like 2 things right now, and I don't get paid again until late next week, so I probably will wait until payday, and then I'll get one other main item to put in all the treat bags and then put them all together. So like maybe like a box of chips or something, you know, like get a box of like 50 mini bags of chips. So like that's kind of what I want to do, is get like a box of those and put one of each of those in every treat bag, and then of the other 2 things that I have, put like one of each of those in there too, so that each bag has like 3 things. That's what I'm thinking, but it's not in the budget until I get paid next week. Then I can do that. So sock down here, that might be, there was a stray sock the other day. That will go with it just fine. Okay. Getting there. This load actually, in the dryer behind me there, is getting quite a bit lower. All right. Actually, almost done. Just now a bunch of small things in that load. If you could hear crickets walking in the background, that's because his cage is downstairs tonight by my bed. I brought him downstairs tonight to hang out with me overnight. So he's sleeping with me tonight. In his cage, not in my bed, but beside the bed. He's squawking now, but once I turn the lights out, he'll be fine. Then he'll settle down. Okay. Time for underwear and socks and stuff. The tedious stuff to fold. I think maybe that's partly why I procrastinate on folding all the little pieces. The tedious, I don't know. I haven't seen too much come out of this load that's mine, though, I'll say that. I think. No, I haven't seen anything come out of this load that's mine yet. There might be some underwear or socks coming, but so far it's not my stuff. Which is fine. Like I said, I typically do all the laundry, even though there's 3 adults here. This is one thing I handle entirely on my own. And I have a load of delegates in here that I need to dry in the dryer. What I usually do, as I've explained before, is I dry them about 10-15 minutes on low, and then I take them and hang them upstairs in the shower stall overnight. So, but because I already washed these, I think last night, it's been 24 hours, I don't think they're going to smell bad yet, but I don't want to leave them until tomorrow morning or they will start to smell. That's why I want to get this folded tonight and get them dealt with, because if I leave them too long, it's going to be a problem. So, these ones might be mine, I'm not sure. I think so. Yeah, that's fine. I'll put them over here. So yeah, washing and drying laundry, not a problem. Folding and putting away, that's my weakness or my nemesis. That and paperwork, like filing papers. Even though I have a filing cabinet that is alphabetical, it's alphabetized, and each category within those alphabetized folders are in date order. So there's really no reason for me not to file stuff. But yet for some reason, I procrastinate on that too. I'm trying to do better at that because there's really no need to procrastinate on it. But it's just one more thing at the end of a busy day that has to be done, right? Okay, so almost done. Slowed. And then I'm going to sort out a couple. Oh, I got whites to wash too. That's one thing I should do. Okay. So I need to do a load of either darks or mixed tomorrow so that her work stuff is done for Sunday morning. But I also need to do some whites because there are some work shirts in there, and just that's the load that's been sitting for a few days waiting to be washed. Okay, so I had a spare sock. Oh, there's the other spare sock. Okay. I thought maybe when I claimed that stray one up there, that now I still had a stray, but no, there is an even number. Okay, so these guys are going to go on his dresser. I'm going to put her stuff in her basket in a minute. At the very least, they can put away their stuff if nothing else. Doesn't have to be tonight, but if I'm washing it, drying it, and folding it, at minimum they can put away. So if I'm doing laundry at 11:49 at night, and this is not unusual for me to be doing it this late, then putting it away for me or for themselves or whatever should not be an issue. Doesn't have to be now or tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, but eventually get to it. Okay, get the lint screen cleaned out. Hopefully this laundry will smell okay and I won't need to rewash it. I'm usually a little more on top of it than that. But then once it's hung in the shower stall overnight, then hopefully tomorrow, sometimes I procrastinate on finishing it, but sometimes the goal is to bring it back in here and de-wrinkle it for 5-10 minutes on low and then fold and put it away. So, where are we at? Yeah, it seems okay. Yeah, it smells alright. I think it'll be okay. It's been 24 hours, which is longer than I like to leave it, but it should be okay. That really doesn't need to be in there long. That's very, very light and fluffy. A couple of masks in that load too. The day they say that masks are no longer mandatory at all will be a very happy day. I mean, you know, there's arguments on both sides of the coin whether they're useful or not, but regardless, you know, it is what it is. We're supposed to wear them at work and in all indoor public spaces. So we do it. We follow the rules. But it is not always fun having to wear them to work all the time. Okay, now, where are we at here? Some whites. I think I'm going to put a couple of these in those mesh bags. Because, and that means I gotta go get my work shirt because it also, I don't think I brought it in here yet. Probably didn't. Let me go take a look. line. And I'm going to sort the hamper out because there might be some whites in there and add this load. I might mix the light colors and the darks together depending on if I have enough to make 2 center loads or just 1 load. So right now I'm going to put the light colors there and the darks over here. That needs a bag. That's her work hat. Not that size bag, that's way too big. There might be some more whites in there. Or I thought. Okay. Now, upstairs. He's getting wound up now. Okay. That, I don't know if that will be enough to make 2 loads. I might just make 1 load out of that tomorrow. We'll see. Right now, start this one. So, okay, I guess I gotta go deal with cricket, and it is 11:55, so I guess I should go do what I need to do and sit down and relax before the sleep. So I'll check in with you guys sometime on Saturday. I will check in with you guys, sometime on Saturday, and show you how my day is going. Update, show what I end up doing, and go from there. Have a good night, everybody. We'll talk to you some point tomorrow. Okay, it is now Saturday evening, just about 9:30. I decided to try and make pie crust from scratch, and this time I succeeded. So far I've only rolled out 2 bottom crusts, and I've made the pumpkin pie filling from scratch as well, using the recipe that was on the inside of the label for the pumpkin filling can. Rather than use a pumpkin pie filling, I just use pure pumpkin. There's a recipe for a 2 pumpkin pie recipe on the back of that label. So far I've rolled out 2 bottom crusts, no problem. Completely different results than the last time. So my pie crusts are from scratch and the filling is from scratch. The only difference is instead of getting whipping cream and whipping that up too, I just cheated and got Cool Whip for tomorrow. But that's okay. My kitchen is a disaster. The timer just went off on the oven. There's been frozen pizzas in the oven. I still have more pie crusts in there. Down at the bottom I've got enough for, see, some remnants from those first 2 crusts, and then there's 4 more pieces as well. So that's enough for 2 double crust pies, which I'll probably do. I don't know if I'll bother doing apple or not. I might just do Saskatoon and maybe make 2 of those, 1 to bake and 1 to freeze. If I do have a spare crust like I did the last batch, the last successful batch that is, the last batch I made was a disaster, but the last successful batch I had a spare crust. So it's like a spare single one, which I froze, so that could be like a lemon meringue crust at some point or a chocolate cream pie crust. But at any rate, I'm going to pour the, got to get this pizza out of the oven and change the temperature down from 480 down to 425 so I can get these 2 pies going, and then clean up the kitchen a little bit, get the dishwasher running, and maybe I'll try and get the filling made for 2 Saskatoons. It won't take too much work to get those other pie crusts rolled out because this batch was so much easier and it rolled out beautifully. So, but as you can see, my kitchen is a disaster. So anyway, got to go deal with that pizza before it burns and get these pies in the oven. It's already 9:30. I'll be up pretty late tonight probably. working on this, but it's okay. I just had a lazy day, got a late start on this stuff tonight. But now that I was procrastinating on doing these pie crusts because I was afraid there would be a disaster like last time. Much better this time. So far, so good. So check in with you guys in a bit and I'll show you how they turned out. Okay, I'm still at it. It is 11:18 Saturday night. I knew I shouldn't have had a lazy day today, and I should have gotten started on this earlier because it's 11:18 at night and I'm still doing this. I've got a Saskatoon berry pie in the oven baking. It's got 30 minutes left. I'll show you kind of take a peek how it's doing. It's coming along. And I finished baking my 2 pumpkin pies earlier. Again, these are all the homemade crusts. And this one, I just finished making the filling for the second Saskatoon pie. I'm not going to bake this one. I'm going to put it in the put the top crust on, put it in the fridge, let it chill, and then once it's chilled a little bit, I'm going to freeze it to bake at a later date. So at least I'll have an extra pie in the freezer. Because for the 3 of us, we don't need 4 pies tomorrow. So, and I'm not up for just simply saying, oh, 1 Saskatoon pie will be fine, I'll make an apple tomorrow or something. No, I've got enough on the go as it is. I've got church in the morning and then come straight home and put the turkey in the oven. I've got enough to do. So 2 pumpkin pies and a Saskatoon will be fine, and 1 Saskatoon in the freezer on reserve to bake for a later occasion would be good. But as you can see, my kitchen is a disaster. That's my daughter's Pepsi bottle. I gotta put the lemon juice back in the fridge. The turkey's sitting in the sink. Yeah, these candle holders were in the dishwasher. They're clean. I don't know where they're going to go. There's no room in the china cabinet for them anymore, but I don't really want to get rid of them yet. The eggs have to go back in the fridge. Kettle needs to go in that cupboard under there where the bird food goes. I don't really want to pull everything out right now. 1 tub of margarine has to go back in the fridge. The bottom one is empty, so it needs to be rinsed out and put in the recycle bin. Dishwasher is now clean, but I'm not about to unload it this hour, and everybody else has gone to bed, so nobody else is going to do it either at this time of night anyway. And of course, I need to clean the flour off the countertop, but not until after I wipe down, or not until after I roll out that last crust. And even at that, the last time I successfully made a batch of these crusts, I had enough for 1 small single crust left over, and I have a feeling I might again after this too. So I think I'm going to roll out that last crust, and if I have enough for 1 more crust, I'm just going to wrap it up in saran and leave it overnight tonight because I still have laundry to take care of. I forgot that I have to wash my daughter's uniform for tomorrow morning. She leaves at 7 o'clock in the morning, so 8.5 hours from now she'll be leaving to go to work, and I forgot to wash her hat and apron, and that has to be done. But guess what? The whites are in the washer and they have to be dried, a couple of which are her uniform shirts, so those are delicate, which means they have to be dried for 10-15 minutes and then hung to dry overnight to finish drying so they don't shrink because they're cotton. I think they're cotton. I don't know what they are, but I'm just always afraid they're going to shrink. So I have to quickly dry those for a little bit, hang them up, and then the rest of the white load can finish drying and get folded properly, and then dry the dark load that I haven't washed yet, which includes her uniform. So I have to get... I'm not doing this dishwasher tonight. I should because the sinks are piled high, but it's 11:30 almost. I can't do this. This is why I moan and groan and complain about having a lazy day, because it comes back to bite me every time. I shouldn't have done that today. I should have gotten in the gear and done this much sooner, because I'm probably going to be up till at least 1 in the morning. Thankfully, I'm not going to early service. I'm going to late service at 11. But nonetheless, I should have got started on this earlier. So anyway, I guess I'm going to roll out that top crust. I'm going to set that pie in the fridge once the crust is on it to cool for a bit, and then I'll put it in the freezer. I'll wrap it and label it with the baking instructions. Put it probably in the downstairs freezer and work on that laundry. And then hopefully, well, 26 minutes left till the first pie comes out here, so hopefully I'll get back to that. It'll come out around just before midnight. Guys, I'm insane. Okay, anyway, the more I talk, the longer I'm putting it off. So let me get back to it. I'll check in with you guys later. Okay, it is almost midnight. It is 11:51 p.m. and here we have it. Again, the 2 pumpkin pies are done. That is the leftover dough. Looks like I probably could get a small single crust pie out of that. The Saskatoon pie just came out of the oven. And this is the other Saskatoon pie, which has been chilling in the fridge. And I'm going to pop it into the fridge freezer overnight and label it with put some tin foil over it and label it with baking instructions and what kind of pie it is so I can bake it at a future date. So not too bad, but it is almost midnight. My kitchen's a mess, although I did wipe my counter down. I got the flour all off the counter. Can't put those pans back in the oven yet because the oven is still hot. I just turned it off, and I still got to go deal with the laundry. So hopefully no later than 1:30 I'll be able to crash. We'll see. But anyway, at least the pies are done for tomorrow. I guess we'll check in with you guys on Sunday. Have a good night. Okay guys, it's now 6:05 p.m. Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. Almost time for our Thanksgiving dinner. I have the water in the back there is just about to boil. I'm going to put some corn on to boil. These are potatoes. They're going to be mashed potatoes. And we've got turkey in the oven that's just finishing browning. Ooh, little blast of steam there. It's browning up really nice, actually. I'll probably turn the oven off pretty quick here. That's really looking good. I've never been good at making gravy from scratch. That's one thing I do not make from scratch. So even though I did my pie crust and my pie filling from scratch, I did not do the gravy. It's from a mix, and the same thing with the stuffing. It's the stuffing mix, stovetop stuffing it's called. I don't know if in the US if you have the same brand or not. But yes, I gotta get this corn on to cook. I'm running on very little sleep. I had a bad night of insomnia last night. I was up finishing that laundry to make sure my daughter had her work uniform until almost 2 in the morning. And then I was awake till 7. And I finally got a couple hours nap this morning and was able to get to church, thankfully. But I'm only running on like 2 hours sleep. Had about a half-hour nap this afternoon too. Anyway, I gotta get this corn on to cook, and I will show you everything once it's all out of the oven. Okay, here we have the majority of the turkey all carved up. It was probably an almost 15-pound turkey. This is the majority of it. There's still, the carcass is still in the roasting pan. Here's the dressing or stuffing that was not from scratch. It's from a box, that's fine. Gravy mix back there in the corner, that's also from a mix. Mashed potatoes and some corn. So now it is finally 7:30 in the evening. Finally time to dish up. So here we go, time to have our dinner. Okay, it is now Monday afternoon. The camera's on a tilt here. Hang on, wait, just that a little bit. Almost 4:30 Monday afternoon. Wants to fall down. Okay, we fix my tripod here. Mount it on something, see if it'll stay stable. Yeah, close enough. Almost 4:30 Monday afternoon. It's been a much quieter day today. This is actually Thanksgiving Day here, although a lot of people like to do their meals on Saturday or Sunday. I did ours yesterday. So I'm going to catch up on some laundry here. It is my last day off work before I go back tomorrow to the store. I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the store, and then Friday the 15th is my birthday, so I booked that day off. Although work did call me today and asked me if I wanted to shift that day, and I said no thank you. So I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the store this week, and then I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off again next weekend. So great, it's my birthday weekend. I only booked the Friday off, but I happened to luck into having Saturday, Sunday off as well, so I'm not going to complain. So I'm going to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the store, and then tomorrow, Tuesday, I work at 11 in the morning, so I can't work at the school. So Wednesday and Friday, I'm going to work at the school. I mean, I know Friday is my birthday, but the school job is 1 hour, like about an hour and a half, I guess, so it's really not a big commitment. So right now, I've been doing a whole bunch of laundry because of the water in the basement. Yesterday, we went through towel after towel after towel, and so I've been having to rewash and dry endless amounts of towels because of the water getting into the basement. So I'm trying to put the towels into a basket now to put away later because there's so many of them. And the load that is coming out of the dryer right now is also towels. All this because of water in the basement. So this basket is going to be too much, or not enough for all these towels, but it's a start. I'm just going to put this basket out of the way because there were wet towels in that basket yesterday. It really needs to be wiped out before I use it for anything else. These guys are just hand towels and such. And even though it's 4:30, I'm going to do a load of wash, including my sheets. I probably should have started my sheets this morning, but I slept in today. After having 2 nights, Friday and Saturday, of insomnia, last night I finally slept. So I'm happy about that. So there's sheets, a few more towels, and I'm just throwing a few other items in there too. that started, and then it'll be time to pull those towels out and get them folded. Still a little bit damp because I only just showered later this afternoon. Again, I let myself sleep in today, and I've taken them today at a leisurely pace. I have this laundry to finish up before I go back to work tomorrow, but I also have some papers to do, some paper filing, and I should update my planner. I really am behind on that. I have everything in my calendar on my phone, but my planner itself hasn't been updated in quite some time. And I need to get my Sobeys receipts all together, because as an employee there, we can submit, I think I've told you guys, we can submit Sobeys receipts that are $75 or more, or bundles of receipts that are $75 or more, into a grocery draw, and then they pull 3 winners each month for $10 gift cards. So I always make my daughter give me her receipts to put together too, because she's also an employee there. And last month, I think September or August, one of the two, might have been August, she won a $10 gift card, and I've won them before too, so it's only $10, but every little bit helps. So I'm trying to, that's one thing I want to do, is get the receipts together. She tends to be a bit disorganized and leaves her receipts everywhere, like in her purse, on her floor. Sometimes if I see where they are, I'll grab them, and but I have to kind of get on her to say, look, where's the receipts? And now she knows why, because if you submit them, you have a chance at winning something. But she still does that, so I'm trying to help here. But I also have to differentiate between which ones are hers and which ones are mine. I can usually tell, first off, by the items that are bought, but also because you see the first digits and the last digits of the Air Miles card number on the receipt too, and I can tell by that number, and also by the Air Miles balance, which ones are hers, which receipts are hers, which ones are mine. So the dishwasher has been run last night. It needs to be unloaded and reloaded, so that has to be done today. And at some point in here, I'll just end the vlog and say, okay, this was my 3 days off again, which are never really truly days off, or very seldom. But then I've said that 1,000 times, haven't I? But you guys can see for yourselves that my days off are never really days off. I'm always doing something. Almost always, anyway. Which isn't a bad thing, but it's tiring sometimes. And then I have been emailing the chairperson of the missions committee at church. We had a good full conversation on Saturday. He said he's emailed the rest of the committee yesterday to tell them of my interest in joining, and he's pretty confident they'd be happy to have me. So I was emailing with him a little bit today. We can't really do anything until the rest of the committee says sure, but that should be a formality. I don't see why they would say no. Most places, most churches are usually quite happy to have volunteers. A lot of times churches have a hard time getting people volunteering for things, so the fact that I'm eager to volunteer for something should probably be seen as a good thing. And the next missions committee meeting is not until January 4th, but I'm hoping, if they want me to join, that they will sit down with me, or at least he will sit down with me prior to that time and brief me on exactly the names of all of our missionaries we support and where they are and their stories a little bit, so that I'm not going into that January meeting completely blind. And I would like to do that sooner rather than later if possible, because it's October 11th, and before we know it, that Christmas season is going to be upon us, and that's a busy season in families, but also in the life of the church too. So the sooner, even if he and I just sit down at a Tim Hortons over a coffee and he can give me the rundown, you know, just so I can take notes, and so that when I attend that January 4th meeting, whether it's by Zoom or in person, at least I won't be going in blind. I'll have some idea what I'm talking about. At least I'll know even if I'm mostly observing, at least when they talk about the names of the people and what they're doing, at least I'll know what they're talking about. I won't be coming at it completely blind. At least I'll know some things. Okay, this load is almost folded. Really need a second basket to put those in. I do have a second basket, but like I said, I need to wipe it out because there was wet towels in there yesterday. So I'll have to do that in a minute. I'm still tired after last night. I feel like whenever I do something like that, where I do like a really, really big meal, like a Thanksgiving meal, a Christmas thing, or where we have company or something, it feels like so much work goes into that the next day it's almost like a hangover kind of thing. I've never been drunk. I've never had a hangover in my life. But I almost feel like this is probably what it feels like, because I feel like the next day or even two are like recovery days for me. Okay. Let me see if I have something I can wipe that out with. As long as it's dry, then I can put other towels in there. Okay. Yeah, it feels fine. Okay. All right, so I'm still tired. Like I said, it's funny how it's like the next day after a big production like that, I'm worn out still. Okay, I think I'm going to take these guys. Two laundry baskets full of clean towels, and there's still more towels in this wash load. That's just how many towels we went through yesterday with all the water. Really should probably contact the landlord to let him know about this leak. I don't know how much he'll do about it because he's not great about taking care of things here. But think about it. We're responsible for paying the electricity, like the hydro bill and the water bill. So we're running up our hydro bill and our water bill doing all this laundry for all the towels that we have to use for a leak on his property. So probably should contact him, but I hate having to contact him because he doesn't tend to be very quick to fix things, and I feel like he tends to push me around a little bit. And I'm the only one that will contact him because I've asked my husband to contact him, and he's not great about doing it. He doesn't like conflict, he doesn't like confrontation, so he leaves me to do it. But I don't feel like I get very far with contacting him because I feel like he thinks he can walk all over me. So I'll have to find the best way to handle it, best way to approach it. I don't know. We'll see. But we should do something about it because he really needs to know there's a leak. It's only really when it's a downpour. If it's a drizzle, it's not so bad. Okay, these I'll just tuck in the middle here for now. Okay. And the stuff on top of the rabbit cage is my stuff. It has to go in my basket, which still needs to be put away. Okay. And then my daughter's robe is clean. Didn't exactly fold it though. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. How do you really fold a bathrobe? I need to make sure she takes her basket and deals with it at some point. Oh, I think I see one or two more things in the dryer that I missed. Yeah, they're just small though. This isn't going to be folded perfect. It's just a bathrobe. But I see this cloth didn't get really clean. Microfiber cloth. I was using it yesterday on the bottom of the inside of the oven, and it's not normally all spotty and stained like that, but it's about as clean as I could get it. So okay, that is pretty good, other than my basket to be put away. Better reattach. I washed this purple robe the other day of mine. I got to reattach the belt to it. One, I have some delicates down here that I need to pop back in the dryer for 10 minutes to fluff them up before I fold them or put them away. So I got to get those done. Might as well do that because it's going to be about half an hour until this load comes out of the wash. Oh, come on, where'd that belt go? Close enough. Good enough. Alright, so these guys are going to go back in the dryer for 10 minutes or so on low. And then I'll have to fold them, put them away. And in the meantime, I'll put the rest of my laundry away, finally, because that's one of the things, like I said, the folding and putting away is what I procrastinate the most on. And there's a towel out here I forgot to put in the wash. There's a towel out there I forgot to put in the wash. Shoot. Of course there is. I guess it'll go in the hamper. I knew I was forgetting something. Towels everywhere, everybody. I think there might be a few more delicates hanging upstairs that I'll have to bring down here. That's okay. I'm going to start those for now. Okay, that's that. Okay, time to get my laundry put away. Dish over here I gotta take upstairs after. My bed is not normally out in the middle of the room like this, but that closet that you can see is where the water seeped in on the floor, and as well all along the back wall behind my bed. So right now the bed is pulled out from the wall to, and there's a fan blowing to finish drying the carpet. So it's a mess. Plus my bed is not made right now because the sheets are in the wash. So let me get some stuff put away. You know what? I need to switch two of my drawers around because right now I have that as a bottom drawer with my pants, but because we're getting into fall and heading into winter, I'm going to switch that to being the fourth drawer, and the drawer with the capri pants and shorts can go at the bottom. Let me switch this around. Oh, there's socks in there for some reason too. Don't know why. There. Probably fell out from the drawer above. Okay, that's better. Now, my okay. These I'm going to use for exercise, so I'm not sure where I'll put those. This top I had hanging in the closet upstairs. I'll see what I'm going to do with it. That also was hanging upstairs. I really wish that the door would stay on properly. That's a sleep shirt. Well, it's a t-shirt, but I use it as a sleep shirt. T-shirts, what size is that one? Okay. I have two t-shirts, the The bigger one I use as an actual t-shirt. The smaller one, because it's snug. And I don't like wearing stuff that's too snug outside because I'm in public, because I feel like it accentuates my midsection, which I'm trying to lose weight in. So the smaller one I use just to wear with sleep pants. So that I will put in with the pajama stuff. And more sleep stuff. These dresser drawers are crammed quite full, and I have donated stuff and given things away, so it's not like I'm not, but I feel like I need a deeper dresser drawers or bigger dresser or something. Definitely, I don't know if you can see it, but definitely the smaller dresser that I keep putting stuff in is very small. If it was the same height as this one, then I'd have more drawer space, and that would make a difference for sure. Okay, that has to go upstairs. See, I procrastinate on putting my stuff away a lot. I procrastinate on folding, but I procrastinate worse on getting it put away. Okay. Another work apron. Why do I have a yellow ball in here? I think I must have gone through some bin of my daughter's toys, and she found that yellow happy face ball in there and threw it in my laundry basket. I don't know why. Okay, now we're down to socks, which is pretty good. There's a couple things in there. And once that load in the dryer finishes fluffing up those clothes, I'm going to have to fold those t-shirts and stuff and hang the blouses up, but that's okay. Got a couple things left on the rabbit cage I need to put away in here. Just when you thought I was done, I'm not. Surprise. Laundry never ends. I swear laundry reads while we sleep. Oops. And this dresser is very old and decrepit. Okay, so these exercise pants and these leggings can just go in my pant drawer. That goes in. Oops, what's down there? Another pair of leggings. Is there room on this side or something? Yes, there is. Cool. There. Ow. That was my foot. That's what happens when my bedside table is out from the wall and it shouldn't be. Okay, so this blouse has to get hung up. I'll just put it in there for the moment. And that's that. Just gotta go fold those things. Make it sound so simple, like that's all I've got to do. No, it's not. I've got, and my camera's on a tilt again. I can see it in the mirror behind. There we go. You've been probably looking at me sideways this whole time. Maybe I look better sideways. Maybe I look better behind the camera. That's what I really think. Yeah, I'm gonna go fold that stuff in the dryer, put it away instead of procrastinating on it, unload the dishwasher, transfer the load of the wash that's in the washer to the dryer, and then that means, of course, at the very least, if I fold nothing else, at the very least I have to take the bedding out later and make my bed so I can sleep tonight. I think I just said unload the dishwasher and reload. Get those Sobeys receipts put together. Do some paper filing. I know there's a paper for the bank I need to sign, scan, and email back that I'm way behind on. It never ends, does it? Oh my goodness. These are how I spend my days off. Sometimes my days off are days off and I can do nothing, but that is rare. Usually I'm go, 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 and I like to be go, go, go. I like to be busy, but sometimes it's more than I'd like. But even though I like being busy, what I don't like is having chronic insomnia thrown into the mix and having 2 nights of basically almost no sleep Friday night and no sleep Saturday night. And then going into, well, I was up Saturday night. I was awake Friday night till almost 5 a.m. Saturday morning. Slept for about 3-4 hours. And then once I got up at 9:30, I still puttered around really slowly till like 11:30, 12 o'clock. Didn't get busy on making the pies until like late afternoon Saturday. Just because I had no energy. I really took it slow on Saturday, but then that meant doing the pies until well into the evening and realizing late at night that, oh no, I need to get my daughter's uniform stuff ready for Sunday morning. And she had to work at like 7:30 Sunday morning, so it needed to be done. So I had to deal with laundry that was in the dryer because I procrastinated on folding and then get that stuff washed and into the dryer and so that it was ready for Sunday morning. So I was up until 2 a.m. Sunday morning, Saturday night. Like Saturday night, Sunday morning. Tried to go to bed, did not sleep at all, was awake till after 7, got up. When she got up and made sure she had her uniform out of the dryer, she could have got it herself because I was still awake, I just gave it to her. Finally went back to sleep for about 2 or 3 hours. Got up at the last minute, still made it to church, and came home, made the whole turkey dinner, and then still cleaned up the kitchen after all was said and done last night. Finally crashed and slept a decent amount last night, but I'm feeling the after effects today still because it's been a busy weekend combined with no sleep, because Saturday night I got no sleep until after 7 Sunday morning, then I finally slept for 2-3 hours. So I don't mind being busy. I don't mind being go, go, go. I like being busy, but I need rest in there too. So some might say, well, why are you joining the missions committee at work then if you're already so busy? Well, because I like it. And that is not something that's going to tire me out. That's not going to be something that's a huge time commitment. That is something that meets every 2 months or so, like 5-6 times a year. So that will not be a huge time commitment. And it's something I like. It's something that is for me. Like, I'm doing it for other people because it's missionaries we're talking about. And I'm doing it to volunteer in the church. But I'm doing it also for me because it's something I like to do. Whereas right now, I work 2 jobs. I take care of the pets. I take care of the majority of stuff, in the house and the cooking and cleaning and stuff. I do a lot of that. So a lot of what I do is for my family, and a lot of what I do, like, between working and the pets and housework and cleaning and driving my daughter places and stuff, most of what I do is for other people. So getting involved in church, whether it be in music, which I'm pursuing that as well, and the missions committee, those are things that, yes, they make me busier because I'm doing more, but they're things I like to do, and I need that. Going on Sunday morning, well, why didn't you skip church yesterday if you didn't sleep? Sleep in. Well, I could have, but I need that time. Even though I was tired, I need that time. I go alone for the most part, and that's okay. It's a little lonely, but for the most part, I'm okay with it. I go and I get to listen to a sermon. I get to sing with the congregation. I get to talk to friends. That is my time. And the same thing with getting involved. Even though doing music, like leading up at the front, that's not really for me because I'm leading the congregation, but it is for me because it's something where I'm not a wife and I'm not a mom. I'm just being in my own element. So these things will make me a little bit busier, but they're not huge time commitments, and they're things that I like to do instead of focusing on others all the time like I do so much. Now, if I could just get my sleep patterns under control, I could probably manage all that and then some. But the sleep thing is really what's kicking my butt here. So anyway, this video is already probably getting quite long, so I'm not going to belabor this any further. You know, you don't need to see me like go and deal with the folding in the next room and unloading the dishwasher. You've seen it all before. You know how that goes. This has already been quite a long enough vlog as it is, and it's already 4:57. It's 5 o'clock already. Thank heavens for turkey leftovers. Family will be sick of it in a couple days, but you know what? For today at least, it's okay. Lots of leftovers. They could make do. And if they don't like leftovers, well, what can you do? I made a 15-pound turkey yesterday. We got lots of food. So either you like it or you find something else. I am not a short order cook, at least not today. Anyway, all in all, it's been a pretty good weekend. Other than the lack of sleep, I've gotten a good bit done. Even got my e-learning done Saturday night, 2 courses for work. I get paid for those, so I have to go in tomorrow when I go to work. I'll write down that my, you know, my usual shift. Oh yeah, I worked 11, scheduled shift is 11 to 4:30. I worked 11 to 4:30, but then I have to write down plus 20 minutes e-learning or 30 minutes e-learning or 45 minutes e-learning, whatever it was, at home, and then they pay me for that 45 minutes extra that I did at home. So that's okay. It's a way to get another half-hour bit of time on the paycheck, so why not? When you're a part-timer, every extra 30 minutes helps. Which then people will be like, well, why didn't you take that shift they called and offered you then on Friday? Well, because I booked that day off because it's my birthday and I deserve to have at least one day of my own. I'm still, as it is, I'm already working at the school that day. I'm giving the school that time, so I'm not going to work both jobs on my birthday. I booked it off last year and for some reason or other didn't get it and ended up working on my birthday. So this year I booked it off and made sure I got it. So, and it just so happens that they also booked me off Saturday and on next week's schedule on the Sunday, so I actually have 3 days off on my birthday weekend and I'm going to guard them with my life. So yes, every extra 30 minutes helps on the paycheck, but not when it's my birthday and I'm wanting to have at least one day for me, even though I do have my other job. But that's an hour and a half. I can live with that. And I'm rambling. This will be like a 2-hour video if I don't stop babbling. So I'm going to stop here. And yeah, I'm going to go fold that stuff and get the dishwasher unloaded, work on those Sobeys receipts. And once hopefully this floor carpet will be dry back here and be able to make my bed and push my bed back against the wall tonight. And try and just get done whatever I can today so that I'm starting off my work week tomorrow on a better footing. So let me just take you with me upstairs for 1 second here. Okay, so anyway, here we are in the kitchen. Time to finish up in here, fold that load down the laundry. As you can see, I've got an empty pie plate to put in the dishwasher once it gets switched over. So yeah, this has been my crazy life. My 3 days off, which are always go, go, go. So I'm going to try and get some more stuff done, make the most of the rest of my day before I head back to work tomorrow. And the birds are going cuckoo in the next room. I have to check and see. There's probably some of them that probably have eaten through their food dishes and probably need more. Pretty sure. Or they just want attention. Or food. Or water. Or attention. It's kind of an ongoing thing with those guys. They eat nonstop and they want attention nonstop too. So and it just keeps going. It just keeps going and going around here. All right, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this little weekend off vlog of mine, and we'll see you next time. If you did enjoy this, please do leave a comment down below, and we will see you next time. Everybody have a great week. Talk to you later.